All right. I don't know why that happens. I got to get that fixed. Hello, ladies. It always wants to jump a scene. I don't know. Anyway, that's technology for you. Hello, this is Geraldine Wilkins, the Living Water Quilter, and welcome. Welcome to Quilt Conversations Live. Welcome to those watching on the replay. We're so glad you're here. And guess what? Today is Copper's birthday, our moderator extraordinaire. Happy birthday, Copper. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Copper. Happy birthday to you. Hello, Yarny. So glad you're here. And that's actually not Yarny. That is Cassie. Cassie, hello. How are you, Marsha? Hello, Marsha. Thank you. It's so good to be back, everybody. Happy birthday to Copper. Wow. So, how did you celebrate your birthday? Hello, Sherry. How are you? I miss you too. And Lori is here. All these wonderful birthday wishes for Copper. Yes, if you could bear my singing. Yeah, of course I have to sing happy birthday. You are quite welcome. So happy for you. And Sharon is here too. Did I see Sharon? Oh, there goes Deneen. Hello, Deneen. Hello, hello. So glad you're here. Well, today is Q&A time. I'm going to share some news, and then I'm going to share some news that I can't share. Does that make sense? Anyway, um, what have you ladies been up to since we've been together? Have you been quilting, sewing? What projects are you working on? Let us know in the chat. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment. Let us know what you're working on. We read the comments. Those who can't come live, do watch the replay and enjoy watching and reading the comments. So take a look. What else is happening? Let me scroll down here in the comments. Hello, Jazzy. Welcome. So glad you're here. So Copper stayed at home and relaxed. Good. And got to go out with friends. Wonderful. Sherry just finished a quilt top for her daughter. Wonderful. Was it something special, a unique pattern? Okay, so Lori says that she will have to listen along or watch the replay. Oh, you're making a batch of hot strawberry guava jam? Woo, that sounds delicious. Wow, yum, yum, yum. So Marsha is cutting a quilt. Cutting fabric or cutting a quilt? Which one? Cutting a quilt to make a jacket, maybe some clothing? I know that's in vogue now. A lot of ladies are taking quilts and making them into jackets and coats. Okay. Um, delicious. It does sound delicious, Copper. Yummy, yummy. All right. So, what have I been up to? As you ladies start to put in what you are working on, Copper is working on Christmas cards. No sewing. Okay. Well, you know that I go live once a month for Clover on the Clover YouTube channel. And a couple weeks ago was Prime Day on Amazon. So I went live 6 times in 1 week on Amazon. Yes. And I did share some of my favorite tools. So if you want to check that out, you can go take a look and you can find one of my favorite tools is the wonky log cabin. If you like the log cabin block, you're going to like the wonky log cabin tool. So you can check that out. What else? I talked about my soar quilt. Have you ladies seen this one yet? It came out in August issue of Quiltmaker magazine. I designed this quilt. I was commissioned, requested specifically to participate in this issue. So thankful for that opportunity. They gave me a color and I designed based on the color. They wanted colors that represent the rainbow, and I love the bow, God's bow, the rainbow. And so this is called Soar. And I talked about that because the magazine is available on Amazon, and the fabric, Island Boutique Fabric, is on Amazon, and they were having a huge sale. Boutique fabrics were less than $9 a yard, which is amazing. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. You like it. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much. Glad you like it. So the pattern is available. Oh, Marsha, you're making a pattern for coats. Oh, that's nice. That should be fun. That's something that's on my list, my very long list of things to do. So what else is on the Amazon? And you know how to get there. You just go to this link, tools.livingwaterquilter.live, and you click previous live shows when you get there, and you can see all the different live shows. What else? I talked about marking pens. Clover has this white marking pen that you can use with stencils. It's great for free motion quilting. It is iron away, or you can wash it out. When you wash the quilt, it will also come out. So either heat or washing it away. And so I did a little demo on that. And if you haven't written down the dates for Clover, here they are again. It's on the second Wednesday of the month. So the next one is going to be November 9th. And it's on the Clover YouTube channel or on Amazon Live. Again, you can get there with this link. And, watch the replay, ladies, if you can, and always leave a comment. Go to the YouTube channel. Hey, Lorraine, so glad you're here. You can watch the replays. It's called Tool Chest, Clover Tool Chest with Living Water Quilter. And watch it and leave a comment. I would appreciate that, especially if you enjoyed the tools that I talk about during those live shows. Hey, Sheila, welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here. Awesome. Woohoo. Well, we've been talking about some of the things that we've been working on, and I have not done any sewing lately. I did a little bit of quilting, working on the beautiful sister, my sister's silhouette, and I have some big plans for that. And I did order a big full panel that is a full yard. So I have one huge panel of my sister's silhouette that's going to become a art quilt. So I'm going to be working on that. I can't wait to get started. I ordered 2 different colors. So I'm not going to show you that one. I'm going to wait. I want you to be surprised with that. Let's see. So that's kind of on the horizon. And then there's some other things on the horizon. I have been very busy with getting more in-person events and live in virtual events. So in-person and virtual events. So my schedule is starting to fill up. And so that's a good thing. That means that I can keep a roof over my head, so to speak. But what I wanted to talk about today for you ladies, and even for me, you notice the title of today's show is a Q&A, but it's also 3 keys to free motion quilting on a home machine. And a home machine could be this one too, because it's in my home, but it's a sit down, right? But it's still where we have to move the fabric. What do you think the 3 keys are? What are the 3 keys to free motion quilting? Just from your own personal journey, what were the 3 key things for you? That's what I would like to know. What are the 3 key things? Oh, yes, me too. Copper says she's looking forward to seeing my sister's quilt. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited about spending some concentrated time on the project. Copper says practice, practice, practice. Those are the 3, Copper. Practice, practice, practice. What are those three things? Copper, thank you for putting in the links for the Clover show. Thank you, thank you. So, as I was thinking about it, I was thinking about um, once you're on the journey, once you're on the journey, you have decided that you want to learn free motion quilting and you're there. You are on that road. And all three begin with the letter P. The letter P. Ooh, good, Miss Washington. Patience, practice, and prepare. That's very close. You got two of the three that I was thinking of. Yes. Patience, practice, and prepare is a good one. Maybe there's four. I forgot one. That's good. How many of you ladies agree with that? Patience, practice, and prepare. The keys to free motion quilting. Yeah, Copper's like, wow. Practice, patience, and prepare. Copper agrees. There's one more P that I think is important. What do you think it is? As you're thinking about the fourth one, because I'm going to add Miss Washington's prepare to the list. I'm going to write that down actually right now. Let's talk about patience. Okay, raise your hand in the chat. Are you a patient person? Are you patient? Are you patient with the process of anything? Patient with waiting in line, patient with waiting in the doctor's office, patient for let's see, the time it takes to bake or make jam. Like Lori is making some jam. She has to concentrate on that, and I'm assuming there's some patience that's required in the process. Plan. Sheila says plan. That's prepare. I would say, yep, I would agree too. That's a good one. Finding a saint, says Marcia. Good one, Sheila. Yes. Sherry is patient sometimes. Yes. So, I'm going to put plan down there. Oh my goodness. The P's are getting longer. So we have patience, practice, prepare, plan. There's one more P. One more P. Patience, practice, prepare, plan. Cassie, that's not the P I was thinking about, not procrastinate. Ladies, you know what? I did not imagine you would have that many P's or keys to free motion quilting using the letter P. Pray, procrastinate. Okay. That P list is getting longer. Let's talk about patience. Any skill that we want to acquire requires patience. Patience. What helps you develop that skill of patience? What allows you to be patient when you are waiting in line, when you are waiting for something to happen? Are there certain words you have to say? Are there certain things you have to communicate to yourself, a self-talk, so that you can be patient with the process? Is it knowing that if you are patient, there's going to be a good result at the end? Jazzy, you got it. That's the last one. That's it. Persistence. You got it, Jazzy. Yes. Yes, very good. Another good one. Yes. Yes. Washington, sometimes I'll wait in line for a good deal on fabric. There are certain things that we have patience for. That is so true. Yes, indeed. Cassie, you're a big procrastinator. I think a lot of us will procrastinate. At least I know I do when I think something is going to be too challenging or I'm dreading it. I will procrastinate. Persevere. Boy, you ladies with the P's, you're coming in strong. I like that too. Persevere, persistence. Yes. Love it, love it. Those are all good words. Yes. So, patience. Now let's go to the next one. What would be next? Let's try persevere. What in you allows you to continue to persevere even when it's difficult, when it's not going the way you want? What allows you to persevere and not give up? I'm interested to know what helps you to continue when it's hard. Think about not just free motion quilting, but just who you are as a person. What about a job or a particular task that you have to do at home? What allows you to persevere through the difficulty? What gives you that strength? Maybe it's one of those P's and it's pray, someone said earlier. Sheila says she laughs at herself. Okay. That sometimes we don't have to take things too seriously, that we just say, well, here I go. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to persevere. Yep. Way to go. Way to go, Jazzy. So, persistence. What causes me to persist when it's hard and challenging and I can be on the verge of giving up is knowing that, let me see, how can I say this? That I can get a good result if I don't give up, if I persist, if I'm persistent, if I, and a lot of times, like you know what I do? I pray. When it gets really hard and I want to persist and I need that extra thing, I do. I have to say I do pray when it gets really hard. What about the next one? We talked about patience, persistence, perseverance. Persistence and perseverance are not really the same, right? They're close, but they're not. Perseverance is that you continue, right? Oh, hey, Kathy. So glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Ah, Sheila, I like that. You step back and regroup. That is so true. Sometimes you have to step back and take a deep breath and regroup and say, okay, what am I missing here? Am I trying too hard? Am I too tense? Pals, being encouraged by others. Another P. Yes. All right. So persistence, perseverance, persistence. It's a keep going, persistent. And then we talked about prepare. How do we prepare? When we are embarking on a skill, developing a skill, we have to prepare for that. What happens when you don't prepare? What happens when you don't prepare? Think about the times that you decided you wanted to make a quilt, whether it's piecing or quilting it, and you just said, well, I'm just going to get started. What happened? What happened? Yep. I think when I've done that, I've had to take out my seam ripper. When I just jumped in and didn't prepare, I had to step back and say, "Uh-oh, you know what? I used the wrong thread," or "That's not the stitching that I wanted," or "I used the wrong fabric and I now have to use my seam ripper," or "I have to start over again." Scatterbrain. Yes. And another thing that can happen when we don't prepare is that we can injure ourselves because we don't have things set up the way they could be or should be for safety purposes. I know this is kind of a brain session, right? This is a brain session. But a lot of what we do is mental preparation to learn a skill. It's important to be engaged with the act of learning, the act of practicing. Yes, Cassie, that's it. When we don't prepare, we do spend too much time looking for things and making mistakes, and then we have to redo. Ah, Sheila, I love that. Order brings calmness. That is so true. Okay, I know that if I'm going to spend a time in the kitchen, maybe you're doing this, Lori, you're listening. I know you can't watch, but the idea that you're going to spend time in the kitchen to prepare a meal and you walk into the kitchen and it's the kitchen sink is filled with dishes, there's stuff all over the counter. I can't work in that environment. I have to clean everything out so that I can be calm and begin to then prepare and take out the ingredients I need for the recipe. Do you work better when there is order or when there is your form of chaos? I know that I can sometimes, I'm guilty, project my preference on my family members. And I did this with my mom. Because before I can cook, I have to have a clean kitchen. When I go to my mom's, when I went, I'd go and I said, "Okay, I'm going to make breakfast." And there'd be stuff on the counter and I'm cleaning. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm cleaning the kitchen and then I'm going to cook breakfast." So it annoyed her. She wouldn't tell me. She'd tell my sisters. "Oh, your sister's here again and she keeps cleaning everything. And I can't find anything." Ah, Kathy, right frame of mind. I like that. Yes, to work on your projects. Oh, you finished your meander quilt. Wonderful. Fantastic. I'm so glad. There are some projects for me that I know that I have have to be in the right frame of mind. I know that I have to not have anything looming that's like a deadline behind me for certain projects. It can't be a rush job. It has to be a leisure time to really concentrate. That's like my sister's beautiful quilt. Yes, congratulations on finishing that. That is so true. Ladies, you are bringing up some really wonderful things that we can all think about as we embark on whatever skill we want to learn. And, specifically, I'm talking about free motion quilting and machine quilting. And that in particular can cause stress for some people because can cause anxiousness. And so I think having a mindset of I'm going to prepare, I'm going to be persistent, I'm going to be patient with the process, patient with myself. How many of you become impatient with yourself? Not just patient with the process, but impatient with yourself. You are not patient with you and your learning progress. So Miss Washington says that she loves structure. However, as an educator, revising is constant. Yes, that's true. Which is many times takes place while I am designing or quilting. Yeah. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic, Miss Washington, that when we are creatives, we are creators. When we make quilts, we are making something. And in the middle of that creation process, we can decide to go another direction. Right? I love that. Revising new designs. Yes, Sheila, that's so true. That's so true. So we talked about patience, perseverance, persistence, and preparing. Sheila mentioned a plan. So not only preparing, but having a plan. When you are starting a new quilt, do you have a plan? You have a new pattern, or maybe you're getting a pattern from a video or something. Do you plan out that project? Do you have a step-by-step plan that help, and then you have to prepare for that? How many of you ladies plan your quilts? Do you have a book? Do you have a book that you plan out your projects with swatches of fabrics for different parts? Marcia says she would stop and have a cup of coffee. Hmm. No pressure, says. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, how do you plan? When I am making a quilt, say for a magazine, I will use, I have a plan. The first thing is I design with design software and I use just regular basic colors. After I get that, the next step in my plan is to find fabric that suits the the design as well as the theme of the publication. And then I will print out the quilt blocks. And then I will test the instructions for cutting the fabric, for piecing the quilt blocks. I make test blocks. That's part of my plan. So I think some things require more planning than others. Other projects, is that true for you? Not everything has a step by step plan. Sometimes we want to be improvisational. How many of you like improvisational quilts? Have you tried that? Have you tried that? Let me know. Do you like improvisational quilts? I'm curious about that. I have done it a few times, not many. I'm more of a structured kind of person. I like Miss Washington. I like a little bit more structure. I like a lot of planning. Hey, Glory, welcome. You're just learning about improv quilts. Yeah. I think improv quilts could be fun, just because you don't have to think much, you just do the next thing. But when you are a thinker like me, it gets very hard not to structure the improv. I made an improv postcard a couple of years ago, and it came out so structured because as I was doing it, I said, oh, let me order it this way, let me order it that way. It was hard for me to make it truly improv. So Lorraine says she often lets quilts just happen. I love it that we each can be creative in our own way. What makes us happy? Hey, there goes Miss Rochelle. Hello, Rochelle. So glad that you're here. Okay, awesome. Have a great time with your grandson. Wonderful, wonderful. Doesn't even, so Marsha says, doesn't everything need a plan? I think. On a certain level, I think they do. It, a plan could be one that includes 20 steps in the plan or one step, right? So it's still a plan, right? I think. What do you ladies think? A plan, not to plan. I like that, Copper. Yes, yes. So all of these P's that we have patience, persistence. One that we haven't talked about yet is practice. Do you have a practice plan? We've talked about that before. Do you practice? What do you practice? Anything concerning quilting or sewing? Are there any techniques that you say, you know what? My quarter inch is not as accurate as I want it to be. I need to practice sewing my quarter inch. Or is there another technique like applique? Do you love applique and you want to get better at stitching hand applique? Do you practice that? So Glory says that she got a couple of books from the library last week on improv quilting. Yes, it is a modern take. A lot of people are enjoying that. Hey, there goes my brother. Arrington has just joined us. You ladies know my brother's company, AJS Investigations, sponsors this live show. And I'm so glad he's here because I have a story to share with you. Something happened today. I got a big knock on my door, and it was during my afternoon nap. Now, I have my Fridays are very busy. I have 3 meetings in the morning, and they're like back to back, and then I prepare for this live session. And so by the afternoon, in order for me to be bright and cheery for you at 7 p.m., I take a little siesta, little nap. And I got this big bang on the door. And I'm like, who is that? Who could that be? And I get to the door, and it's the sheriff. It's the county sheriff at my door, sheriff deputy. So I'm looking through the peephole, and I see that it's the sheriff. And I say, well, who is it? Who is it? And he says, it's the sheriff. We're checking on to see if Miss Geraldine is okay. And I'm like, what? So he's right at the door, and the door is, I have a storm door in front of the main door. So I said, can you please step away from the door before I open my door? So he steps back, and I open the door, and he says, well, I'm here to do a welfare check, to check on Miss Geraldine. We got a call from her brother and sister in Houston. They were worried because she hasn't been answering her phone. That happened today. My brother. Yes. Yes. So I'm sharing this to say that I think it's fantastic. One, that my family was like, we haven't heard from her in one day. My brother and I usually talk at least once a day. Sometimes we might miss a day, but we usually send a text. He called the local police department to come check on me. And they did. Did you know that you could do that? that you can do it's called a welfare check when someone is not responding or answering their phone or their text messages. Yes. Brotherly love. I love my brother. I haven't seen him in more than 4 years. I can't wait to see him again. Ah, you have done that. You have had you called for a welfare check once. Okay, Glory. Yes, brotherly love, family. Okay, so Copper says, why weren't you answering the phone? Because you were napping? Well, he called and texted on my busiest day. Friday, I have appointments back to back. So I silence my phone so that I don't get interrupted. Some of them are video calls that I don't want interrupted by a call. So he forgot about that, obviously. And then once all my morning appointments were done, I'm having my afternoon nap, and then he calls me at that time. So, yes. But you know what? I'm glad. Yeah, there goes my brother again. Are you on another? What's that? Did you change from one to another? I don't know who that other Arrington Strickland is. There's 2 in there now. Oh, that's YouTube, your YouTube channel. Okay. Oh, so I just wanted to share that with you. If you didn't know that you can call uh, local authorities in another state to check on a family member if you are concerned, and they will come and check. So it's good to know. I'm glad that you were worried and that you did something about it. Yes. Yes. So let's see. Back to the topic of sewing and quilting. Hello, So We Like It Crumb. So glad you're here. When I start a quilt, I must start out as structured, but somewhere along the way, it changes and I do it my way, which is why I like working with scraps and crumbs. I love that idea. That is fantastic. We get down a road, we get on it, we know it's going to end up at a destination, but you don't know what, because along the way, you make different changes, right? Ultimately, it's going to be a quilt, but it's going to be your quilt because you put your own touch to it. I like that. Wonderful. Oh, Glory says, which is good to know, that you don't even need to have an address, that the authorities can still generally find you. I like to know that. Better safe than sorry, says Copper. That's true. So, before I told you about this knock at the door story, we were talking about practice. Copper says another P word is Pictionary. Marcia, Copper, is that a hint that you want to play Pictionary? We haven't played a game in a while. Hey, Twist and Trails, welcome. So glad that you're here. I love that idea too. You can take a quilt pattern and then it becomes improv. That's neat. Love it. Oh no, not really. I'm not a public figure. No. You love watching me draw. Okay. I will go up there and get my whiteboard. I don't even have my camera set up. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It would take time to set it up. I don't have my camera set up. But if you want to play Pictionary and you're willing to watch me set it up, I will do it. Oh, ladies. So this was supposed to be a small introduction with 3 keys to uh, free motion quilting, but we ended up with like 6 P's, I think. We had 6 or 7 P's. So it went from 3 to 7 very quickly, right? I think you would all agree patience, persistence, perseverance, practice, preparing, planning, all are important. Hello, Coco. So glad that you're here. Another P from Sheila is purpose of project. I like that. Boy, these P's. Who's making the list? Copper. Can you make a full list? I don't know if I have all the P's. I'll have to go back through the chat and check all the P's. I like purpose, Sheila. I like that. All right, let's see. Oh, Coco, yep, we had prayers earlier, but I'll say it again. We'll highlight that because that's important. So glad you're watching from Louisiana. Welcome, welcome. But I want to make time for your questions. What questions do you have about free motion quilting or ruler quilting? Let's talk a little bit about that for a while. I think I'd like to do that because this is supposed to be a Q&A as well. So I want to answer your questions. Let me know what questions you have about free motion quilting or ruler quilting. Is there a project that you're working on that you have some frustration with, or P done period? Are you saying that it's done? Praise him when it's finished. I like that. Boy, these P's are coming. I love it. So Rochelle says, what helps me is positivity. I love, and that's another fantastic P. I can't beat myself up if it doesn't look like what's in my head. Positivity. I love that. That is fantastic. Wow. Love it, love it, love it. Practice, patience, plan, pray, patience, prepare, procrastinate, not. Copper. Yeah, positivity. I love that. Yes. Coco says that she likes it too. Yep. And we said earlier, who was it who said earlier that they have to be? I think it was Kathy. Kathy, I think you said that you have to be in a certain mental space when it comes to working on a project. And a lot of these words have to do with, where we are mentally. And we want to think about being in a positive place so that we can persevere, thinking positively so that we can plan and practice. Okay. Passion. That is another good one. Yeah, and this is my brother who's not a quilter. I think he's going to become a quilter yet. Maybe we'll work on a quilt together. So we like it. Crumb says, thinking outside the box is the best kind of quilting. I like that. It's like a box of chocolate. Plenty wound bobbins. Yes. So, what questions do you have for machine quilting, free motion quilting, ruler quilting? Do you have any questions about feed or thread or tension? What questions do you have? Yes, Coco, there are many of us that are quilting, that are making quilt patterns, that are teaching quilting. and doing free motion quilting. I love it too. Yes, there are many of us out there. Love it, love it. All right. Now, what's this plenty of bobbins? I'm not sure what that is. Wound bobbins. That makes you happy? Is that it, Glory? A full bobbin makes a happy quilter? Yes. Ah, Gloria, just getting supplies. Okay. No questions yet for Glory. All right. All right. So if there aren't any questions, let me know what plans you have for the next thing that you want to learn. Is there a pattern or technique that you want to learn? Do you have plans for next year? Are you thinking about next year? Are there quilts that are on your list to make? Let us know in the chat. Share with one another. Share with us what you are passionate about, what you want to learn. So Coco has a question. When you do free motion, do you use polyester or cotton thread, and what brand do you think is best? I use both cotton and polyester. Threads these days are so amazingly fantastic, especially if you go to very specific brands. The brands that I like that are quality brands are Glide, which is a polyester thread. I like a lot of Superior threads. Their threads like Magnifico, So Fine, those are polyester threads, but the So Fine actually looks like cotton. It's a matte finish, it's not a shiny finish. Magnifico is a shiny finish. I also like threads from Connecting Threads. They have a nice cotton thread that's fantastic for quilting. So those are the ones that I use mostly. Connecting Threads, Superior Threads, and Glide. And they all work well for free motion quilting. I mainly use Glide though for free motion because it has a little bit of a sheen and I like to show that sheen in the quilting. So someone is leaving us, Miss Washington. Okay, see you later. Have a good week. So glad you were here. Okay, do you like free motion quilting is more motion with shoulders or motion with hands? Free motion quilting is more motion with your hands. Your hands are moving the fabric to create the quilting design. Your needle is stitching, your feed dogs are dropped, so the machine is not moving the fabric. Instead, your hands are moving the fabric, which means you can go left and right, you can go backwards and forwards, you can go on a diagonal, which means you can make almost any design. So Lorraine says that she's going to use her stash to make some 3-yard quilts. That's a great way to practice free motion quilting. That's true. So Glory says in August, I wanted a new machine, and 2 weeks ago I got my Jazz 2 and I'm loving it. Congratulations. Wonderful. Congratulations. Extension table is a great accessory to get. So glad you're going to get that. Sometimes I get both shoulders and hands in the quilting mood. Well, that's good. Whatever works for you, and it is sustainable. The best thing is to have a good chair, to be level with the table, not to be hunched over or too far back. But whatever you do, you want to make sure you have good aerodynamics to be able to continue to quilt for a long time. Okay. So Coco says that she made her husband a family quilt with all our images on it. Oh, that is wonderful, Coco. That is so special. Very, very nice. Very nice. Sounds amazing is true, Copper. Sounds amazing. Okay. What else? Did I miss anything? If I missed it, just repeat it because as the comments are scrolling through. Okay. All right. Well, ladies, I have a lot. Okay, I'm working on. So Coco says she's working on her cousin's in-law quilt now and trying to finish mine too. Coco, you are busy, busy, busy. Wow. So, what is coming up for me? I have a lot of news, ladies. One is some of you have been asking if I am teaching close by. And I am going to be teaching an intermediate free motion quilting class virtually. And it's through the Virginia Consortium of Quilters. It's Saturday, November 12th, Virginia Consortium of Quilters. You can go to their website. It's a virtual class. It's an all-day class, and you're going to learn intermediate designs. I'm going to show you how to take those designs and put them in a star quilt. And this is the star quilt. This is one of the patterns. You probably remember it. Let me hide this here. Where's my text? Okay. We're going to make the star quilt, but we're also going to learn a lot of intermediate designs. And this is the star pattern that we're going to work on. If you choose, you have the option to focus on the free motion quilting, but also part of the course is me going through not only teaching you designs, but then how to take it from the practice and put it in the quilt. So we're going to spend 6 hours. We're going to have 3 hours in the morning, a 1 hour break, and then 3 hours in the afternoon on November 12th. It's a virtual class. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you go visit the website to register for the class. The Virginia Consortium of Quilters. So anyone can come. It's open to the public. All right. So you don't have to be in Virginia. You can be anywhere and take this virtual class. So I hope that you take a look at that if you're interested. Sheila says she's proud of her finished work. Awesome. I like that P, another P. All right. So what else is happening? Let's see. Just a reminder. Remember, I am teaching at QuiltCon next year. February 2023 is going to be Atlanta, Georgia, and it's all ruler quilting. Ruler quilting. So I hope you can join me for that. If you can't, try the free motion quilting course. All right, so that's what's coming up that is on the teaching schedule. I do have another one in Virginia with a guild coming up in November. That's a lecture, an in-person event. But in addition to that, I have a lot of things coming up next year. Oh, yes, they do help with free motion. They help us get additional designs that would be harder for us to do on our own. So Cassie says, how intermediate is it? Well, intermediate meaning that you are an advanced beginner. You already know how to set up your machine. You already are doing free motion quilting. And so I'm just going to take you to the next step. I'm going to offer you some new designs to add to your library to begin and practice. Then I'm going to help you think about how to put the designs you already know, as well as the new ones, how to put it in a quilt. We're going to talk about that from practice to quilt, because the journey with free motion quilting is We want to learn the technique. Now that we've learned how to set up our machine, we've learned the technique, we're building a library of designs. How do we get those designs into a quilt? How do we make our quilts shine with our free motion quilting? All right, I hope that answered your question, Cassie. Okay, so Coco says, how long does it take for you to sew a quilt that is 55 by 60? Are you asking me how long that takes? It depends on the quilt. And if you're talking about piecing the top, it depends on the type of quilt block it is, if it's applique, if it is foundation paper piece. Every quilt is a little bit different. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Copper, for putting in the links. Appreciate that. What else is on the horizon? Okay, so there is a lot of prep that comes into teaching at QuiltCon. So I have to focus on that, and I have some exciting news that I can't share. It's happening next week. You're going to hear about it on my Facebook page. I'm going to do a little announcement here on my YouTube channel as a recorded video, but I can't tell you what it is today. You have to wait till next week. And because of that, and the quilt show, the things that I have to prepare, I have to take a vacation from Quilt Conversations Live because I have a lot of things I have to complete and work on. So ladies, we're not going to meet for Quilt Conversations Live again until next year, January. I know you're surprised to hear that. I am going to take November and December to concentrate on these new projects, this new thing that's happening. You'll find out about it next week. I'm sorry if you are disappointed, but part of that is also creating new content for the YouTube channel. I have to focus on creating that content and uploading more and new videos. Oh, thank you, Copper, for understanding. Yes. Okay, Coco, I'm glad I answered your question about how long it takes. When I'm designing a quilt for a quilt magazine, say it's about the size you mentioned, 55 by 60. The process between designing, preparing the fabric, cutting it, piecing the top, if I'm only doing that and nothing else, I can do it in a week and a half to 2 weeks and quilt it. It's from beginning to end, from getting the fabric, washing, cutting, piecing, and then quilting it. 2 weeks. But I'm doing nothing else but that every single day. So, so I appreciate that you understand that I have to concentrate on these things, but ultimately it's going to benefit you because I'm going to be able to offer more classes, more videos, and other things that I can't mention right now. You'll find out next week. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram if you're on there, because I'm going to be doing a lot of posts on both of those, Facebook and Instagram. More content, more videos, and I need time to do it. I am one person. And I will also be live for the Clover show. So you can still see me live, but it will be the Clover time frame. I'll put that up again for you. If you didn't know, I'm going live once a month on the Clover YouTube channel. And those are the dates if you missed that earlier. So we can still meet there. I hope you can come. It's at 5 p.m. I know it's not the best time of day, but it's 5 p.m. Okay, yes, Glory. That's so true. Thank you. Yeah, you can view older videos and rewatch. And if you missed the spotlight, last time we were together, we had a spotlight with Terry Green. You can see her journey in free motion quilting. So look at those. Oh, Coco, it's okay. I'll be back. I'm going to miss everyone. Oh, that's so nice of you, Glory. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I can't tell you. I am sworn to secrecy. I can't say anything. Yeah, but I'm giving you heads up that something is coming, and because of that, there's a lot of work that I need to do. Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. Anytime that there's a question on a YouTube video or comments, I will still do that. Absolutely. So please leave the comments. And if you're new to the channel, and you see that the comments are curated, they are specifically because we have spammers out there who like to leave things that are not nice in the comment section, and I don't want you to be offended by those things. They're not nice things. So I curate the comments, but if you comment, it will come through, I will see it, and I will respond, and then I will post your comment. So absolutely. Glory says whisper it. No, no, no. Can't do it. All right. Let's see. Did I go through everything? Yeah. Well, ladies, it has been fantastic. If you think about it, I don't know. When did I start going live? February of 2021. I've been live for a whole year, right? Every single Friday for a whole year, and a little bit more than that. And then after that, it was live twice a month. So I don't know if you are aware how much work goes into live streaming, but it is work. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay. Yes, I'm teasing you. Yep. I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to post a video. You'll see it next week. All right, ladies, I'm going to end our time. If you don't have any additional questions, I'd like to thank you for being here. And I always enjoy our conversations. Tonight was a wonderful conversation about the P's of quilting: persistence, patience, practice, being prepared, planning, praying, positivity. I love it. And passion. Oh, thank you, Copper. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. And happy birthday to Copper. I'm glad you enjoyed your birthday. I will see you ladies live either on the Clover YouTube channel, and I'll be on Amazon Live too. So if you are not following me on Amazon, you need to go there as well, because I will still be doing some Amazon Live, and you can follow me there on Amazon. Clover, sorry, Copper, can you put the link in there? Well, it's right there. Oh, I didn't have it there. For the Amazon Live, it's tools.livingwaterquilter.live. You can find me there and then follow. So once in a while, I'll be live on Amazon, Clover. I just won't be here on Fridays. Okay, ladies? I will see you where I see you, okay? Thank you, Lois. I really appreciate that. You're welcome. Have a wonderful holiday season, everyone. I will see you when I see you. Take care.